This time we're going to take the first and second partial derivatives of a function of three variables. F here is a function of x, y and z. So we'll start with the first partial derivatives, starting with x. So the first term gets us y, the second term has no x's in and so gives us 0, and the final term gives us z. Next we take the first y partial derivative, df dy. So now the first term gives us x, second term gives us z, and the final term again gives us 0 because there's no y in it. You can also take the first partial derivative with respect to z. First term has no z's in it, gives us 0. Pick up a y from the second term and an x from the first and the third term. Now we need to look at the second partial derivatives. So we start with d2f dx squared. So that's the x derivative of df dx rather, and that gives us 0 because we just have x, because we have y plus z, and we're treating y and z as constant. Cross derivatives, on the other hand, we have d2f dy dx. So that's d by dy of df dx. So we pick up a 1 from the first term, derivative of y is 1, z we treat as a constant, so we get 0. We also take d2f dz dx. First term gives us 0, but we pick up a 1 from the second term. Next we take higher order derivatives based on df dy. So we can start with d2f dy squared. And because df dy has no y's in it, that's going to give us 0 because we're treating x and z as constant. Next we consider d2f dx dy. So we pick up a 1 from the first term and a 0 from the second term. And for a check, we can see that d2f dy dx is the same as d2f dx dy, as it should be. Next we consider d2f dz dy. Here we pick up a 0 from the first term, because we're treating x as a constant, but we get a 1 from the second term. Now we can think about the second derivatives based on df dz. So that's starting with d2f dz squared. No z's in df dz, so that's 0. Cross derivatives. We start with d2f dx dz, and we get a 0 from the first term because we treat y as a constant, but we get a 1 from the second term from differentiating x. Next we think about d2f dy dz. There we get a 1 from the first term and a 0 from the second term because we're treating x as a constant. And we see again that the yz cross derivative and the zy cross derivative are the same. And also the zx cross derivative is the same as the xz cross derivative. So again we have consistent answers.